It's setting it up. Done. Redirecting to live stream. Thank you. We are now live. Hello, everyone. I could not be more honored to be sitting in this Zoom right now with the two incredible composers and musicians of the film that you just saw, The City Without Jews. So first of all, welcome, 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 Alicia Svigals and Donald Sussin. Thank you for being with us. And thank you for honoring us and allowing us to show your magnificent film as part of our inaugural international virtual Why I Love Yiddish Fest. For those of you who don't know me out there, my name is Avi Hoffman. I'm the founder and CEO of the Yiddishkeit Initiative. And I thank our sponsors and I thank everyone who makes this possible and all of you for watching. This is our second day of the festival and we are now, I think, past 5,000 views of our work. But let's talk to these brilliant, brilliant musicians and composers. Now, it seems like forever, but it was only 10 months ago when we did our Why I Love New York Yiddish Fest live before COVID in New York City. And you guys once again honored us by allowing us to show the ancient law while you guys were playing live. And so I'm curious, so how many films have you guys done like this?
Well, the one that you just saw is our second, and we have a new one that we just finished recording a couple of days ago called A Man Without a World, which is going to come out eventually. And we have been touring these live. That's how we used to do it in the old days before coronavirus. Musicians would play in a room with people who are listening, all in the same space. And, you know, one day I hope we'll go back to that.
I'm sure we will. We're all looking forward to the day when we get to go live again.
Actually, my wife and I will be doing a live event in Brooklyn on Saturday the 19th in the Gowanus Canal. In it.
With wetsuits.
In wetsuits. This film, City Without Jews, we recorded back in January and did one performance in San Francisco before everything got shut down. So everything will be delayed about a year, I guess, by the time we get back on the road.
Wow. Wow. So I just found out that you may be able to show us a little taste, a little nash, a little tam of the new film. But before that, you know, I'm really curious. So this is now will be your third film together. How do you decide which films you want to do? Like, how many films did you screen before you made your decisions?
Well, it doesn't work that way, actually, Avi. We are assigned these films. Each of these were commissioned by DVD distribution companies. The first two by Flicker Alley, based in LA, and then Man Without a World by Milestone Films in New Jersey.
Right.
I keep looking out the window because my daughter's going to show up from school any minute. It's the first day. So we would love to do other things. I'm in touch with the Brandeis, the National Center for Jewish Film in Massachusetts, and they have some projects that we've been talking about for a while, so that might happen also. And Alicia would be, she and I would be involved in those as well.
That is so cool. So basically you get a call from the distribution company saying, we have this film, we want you to compose it and play it, and then you guys get to work.
Right.
That's the process. Cool.
That's the process. And then we spend many thousands of hours more than anybody anticipated.
Well, that was going to be my next question. My next question is, so now you sit down, you watch the film, and you go, who starts? Is it like violin first and piano second, or piano first and violin, or together? What is the process that actually, because it's so much. I mean, we're talking about 91 minutes of unbelievably complex music with just a piano and a violin. How does that work creatively?
Well, we've done it with a different process for each of the three films. Like, how would you sum those up, Donnie?
Well, I mean, the first film, we spent days in the studio playing together, writing things, and just, it was like a jigsaw puzzle to do everything together. The second film was a little bit more prep in advance. And this one, Alicia went to town and wrote 10,000 different wonderful tunes, very wonderful klezmer inflected tunes for A Man Without a World. And then we looked at those and found places where they went. But with City Without Jews, it was also a process of doing it together in the studio and saying, let's try it this way, let's try it this way, going back, editing after the fact. And I don't know who else works this way, but we're finding our collaboration to be really fun and intense and rewarding, we hope, for listeners.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. And all the commentary is brilliant. There's no question. It's just, I'm fascinated by process. I'm a theater person, so I can tell you exactly what the process is for us. Somebody writes a script, and the script has to be reimagined in terms of sets and lights and costumes, props, acting, casting. Then you have the work process and the acting process and the direction process and setting cues. And like, you guys are just two musicians and composers. And so you're watching the film and coming up with ideas. I mean, it's hard for me to fathom.
Well, that's kind of the nitty gritty of the process for us, aside from how we work together, who writes first and who writes their accompaniment or vice versa. The real, meat and potatoes of it is we watch the film and musical ideas come to us, either from our unconscious, they pop out, which is how creativity often happens, or we'll improvise and try different things till finally the one with the right tone comes up. And then there's a long process of work, taking that 10% of inspiration and applying the 99.9% perspiration, and working those themes.
That's more than 100%.
It's got to be.
Oh, well, that's how it is with us.
It's got to be incredibly time.
It's 109.9%.
It's very time consuming.
It's got to be incredibly time consuming and time intensive.
This film, we started working on this on City Without Jews in the fall of 2019, but didn't finish it really until the second week of February.
Wow.
And this one has taken even longer, number 3. But it's work that's very satisfying. And we're very, very fortunate in all of this to have a patron, Cynthia Walk, at the Sunrise Foundation for Education and the Arts, who pays for these scores and for the restorations to happen. So without that, this would be...
And as well as for the live performances, she supports those too.
Right.
And she helped with ours that we did together in New York.
Right. So in addition to composing it and playing it, you're actually scoring it. So you have the paper score or PDF score nowadays that could be potentially played 100 years from now by some other musicians who want to play it live during a screening, theoretically.
Up to God's ears.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's brilliant. I find it absolutely brilliant, as I find you. Now, I know who you guys are. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time at the beginning, giving you introductions. But I'd like for you guys to tell us and all the people watching right now a little bit, not a long, but a little bit about how you came to this music, a little bit of your background, a little bit of the history, but what brought you into this particular style of music?
Donnie, you want to go first?
Okay. I'm a classically trained pianist. and studied composition in college, Michigan and Columbia. And in Michigan, I began playing for silent films and then have been doing that. March will be 50 years since I've started doing silent film music. I have a theater background. I've written contemporary film music, and I'm also deeply interested in Jewish music, both folk and synagogue and classical Jewish music. And here's my daughter on the bus. So Alicia, you take over where I get.
So Alicia, take over.
And I'm a klezmer fiddler. I was trained classically as a child, and in the late 80s, I started getting into klezmer. I was one of the people who started the Klezmatics, and we played together for 17 years. And then I left the band and I'm pursuing my solo career, composing and klezmer fiddling and writing klezmer music. And I've also continued to study and play classical music. So these scores are sort of a fusion of classical violin style, klezmer fiddle style, classical music sensibilities, and Jewish modes and meters and so forth, ornamentation. And so that's me.
Right. So both of you have decades of incredible experience. One of the things that I really love about you, Alicia, is that not only are you such a proficient musician to play the scores stuff, but man, I remember when we did our little mini Yiddish fest in Miami Beach at the Betsy Hotel, which is one of our main sponsors for the fest, is the festival sponsor. You basically spent 2 days improvising with everything we were doing, and it was just stunning. Can you guys talk a little bit about the improvisational elements versus the written, distinctive elements that are written?
In the second and third of our collaborations, there's hardly any improvisation at all, although it may start out as that. But in the case of Ancient Law, even in our performances, 60 performances down the road, we're still improvising maybe 30 or 40% of the time, although it started to get more codified as we have been repeating these performances. We have the same kinds of improvisations, but the notes still are not written down yet.
Right.
We'll do that at some point.
Yeah, our current one, The Man Without a World, since we did it remotely, we couldn't really improvise together. And it's, the joy of improvising is improvising together. I mean, one of us could give the other, well, Donnie could give me a background to improvise against. I can't do it as easily the other way around, because I can't fill it out with the violin the way you can with the piano. But that's not the same as improvising together. So it ended up being a really fully composed score. Right. But as a result, it is a score that could be played by future musicians.
Well, you guys said you could. Donald, you want to share your screen and give us a taste?
Let's see.
We have 5 minutes till we're done.
All right, I'm sharing here, and I have this and this and this. Can you hear all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to share your screen so we can see it.
We're not seeing it yet.
What? You can't hear it?
No.
Hear it, yes. But we need to share your screen. So
you got to screen sharing.
Oh, sorry, Brian. careful.
Tell me again. So this film is called what? What is the name of that
Man
film?
Without a World.
Man Without a World, and it was actually shot when?
In 1991, I think.
Yeah, it was shot in San Diego, even though it's intended to look like it was shot in Poland in the 20s.
That's stunning. So a 1991 film shot to look like it was done as an old ancient Yiddish film from the early 1900s.
Right. And
by a fictional avant-garde Yiddish film director of
right,
the
Evgeny
1920s.
Antonov. Evgeny Antonov is the pseudonym or the doppelganger of Eleanor Anton, who is a very well-known performance artist whose work has been shown all over the world, MoMA, the Whitney, you name it.
Wow.
And she loves doing these kinds of send-ups of ancient history, the Helen of Troy, or putting people into other fake historical contexts and photographing or filming them.
Well, once again, we would be more than honored to present that film whenever you're ready. Just let us know and we'll schedule a whole festival around it if you want.
Great, we're ready. Let's do
All
it.
right, great. Well, let's discuss
Let's talk
Let's
tachlis.
discuss it. Good. So, Alicia, Donald, thank you so very much again.
Thank you.
Being part of our festival and allowing us to show this internet premiere of City Without Jews.
It was our pleasure.
I look forward to seeing you again. Bleibt gesund und stark. Please stay
You
healthy.
too. Yad Shekoyach on the
All right.
festival. You
Good.
too.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
See you.
And for the
Bye-bye.
rest of you out there, thank you so much for watching. Our sponsors are the Betsy Hotel, the University of Miami Miller Center, and the Feldenkrais program, Restream, and we are Gallery 22 and YaakovHeller.com. And go to our website, go to our Facebook, go to our YouTube. All of our programs are free. This festival is free to the public. So we not only thank our sponsors, we also, one of our sponsors is Miami-Dade County that has helped to offset some of the cost of what we're doing. And so there is a survey that we would like you to take. So please go to our, go to all of our outlets, fill out the survey, and also go to our website and help support the work we're doing. And so I would like to leave you all with a small video thanking our sponsors. Ashenim and hartzigen Dank, and we'll see you soon. Yeah, you guys can shut off your videos. Bye.
My name is Chaim Shaked. I'm a professor at the University of Miami, and I am the director of the George Feldenkrais program in Judaic Studies, and I'm the founding director of the Sue and Leonard Miller Center for Contemporary Judaic Studies, which is a university-wide center at the University of Miami. If we look today at the Jewish world, the Jewish communities in most countries still have segments which adhere to the old definition of who is a Jew, but much larger segments today consider themselves Jewish because they're part of a tradition, part of a culture. One such important element has become known more recently as Jewish peoplehood, a subject which is of great interest to me personally and to the programs which I am developing. Jewish peoplehood includes, for instance, a very important component of the Yiddishkeit initiative. And that's why when I heard of this idea, right away, I outstretched my hand and we are developing a partnership.